Pay attention, you bastards.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. So there's been so much talk around what happened in Mexico about the cartel. They've been holding people hostage in Mexico to where people can't get back home. People stuck in their hotels. I actually know a guy personally who couldn't make it back for a while. You know, he got up out of there, but he couldn't make it back. So for those of you who are kind of like all over the place and don't really understand what's going on, I wanted to kind of dive into it real quick and kind of touch on exactly what happened and why it is what it is right now. So as of late February 2026, Mexico is experiencing significant security challenges following a major military operation. Here are the key events that have occurred. So the killing of El Mencho. On February 22nd, 2026, Mexican special forces killed Nemesio. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So the killing of El Mencho on February 22nd, 2026, Mexican special forces killed Nemesio Ruben Asahuera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, leader of the powerful Jalisco New Generation cartel, in a raid near Tlalpa, Jalisco. Widespread retaliatory violence in retaliation for the death of their leader. Cartel members unleashed a wave of violence, particularly in the western state of Jalisco, including Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. This included burning vehicles, blocking highways, and setting fire to businesses. So they figured, like, look, y'all did the wrong thing. Y'all took out a leader of ours, and we gonna turn shit up, basically. You know, and that's exactly what's been happening. And for those of you who know anything about the cartel or any cartels, they don't play them type of games. You know, they're not just doing small shit; they doing big shit. They stopping. They gonna shut down the whole city, and that's exactly what's been happening. Military deployment. The Mexican government has deployed thousands of additional soldiers, with reports of up to 10,000 troops nationwide to restore order in at least 20 states. Casualties and damages. Reports indicate at least 25 members of the Mexican National Guard were killed in clashes following the raid. Travel disruptions. Many American and international tourists have been affected, with major airlines canceling flights to and from hotspots like um, Puerto Vallarta. The new U.S. State Department issued shelter-in-place warnings for certain regions. Jailbreak. Amid the unrest, 23 inmates escaped from a prison in Puerto Vallarta. Political and economic impact. President Claudia Sheinbaum has emphasized that the country is returning to normalcy and that the government is in control. However, the violence has prompted concerns regarding security for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. Economic factors. As of late February, Mexico's annual inflation rate reached 3.92%. The situation remains fluid, with ongoing concerns about further retaliatory acts by the cartel. So, you know, I'm hoping that everything gets better. But for those of you just like me who kind of been wondering exactly what's going on, why they setting stuff on fire. You know, I've seen it online where they had set it was actually yesterday. They had ran into a gas station, told everybody to leave, and set the whole gas station on fire. You know, and I think I've heard something today where they're going as far as they messing up the roads to where people can't get out. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing stuff to the roads where people, I forgot what they was putting on the roads exactly, but they doing it to where people can't leave. You know what I mean? So if you're in Mexico right now, you are an American. I mean, hold your head, man. Try to stay safe as you can. But it's one of them things where it's not looking too good. and all we can do is pray on it. All we can do is try to stay positive on it. But it's one of them things, man, where it's not looking good at all. So I was reading this, and this was just one of the stories that came out about exactly what's going on, within Mexico. People, for as far as people that are traveling. So American trapped at luxury resort in Mexico told no one's leaving by hotel staff. They're really trying to hold people in there and saying, "Hey, look, you're not going nowhere. We got orders." And again, if you're just working somewhere, you don't got much pull. They tell you nobody leaving. If you want to have your safety, you gonna just abide by what it is they saying. So with the Jalisco New Generation cartel in Mexico causing violent destruction across the Puerto Vallarta area, many American tourists remain stranded due to canceled flights and closed airports. Not far north is the posh area of Punta Mita, home to luxury resorts such as the Four Seasons and Ritz-Carlton. Wendy Puchetti of Wisconsin told Fox News Digital she and her husband were supposed to leave Mexico on Sunday after a week-long vacation. We were checking out, and we walked up to the bellman, and he said, "No one's leaving. You can't drive anywhere. There are no vehicles. The airport is shut down." So that was the first we heard of it. This was Sunday at like 10 a.m., said Puchetti. She added, "From here, you wouldn't have any idea that there's anything going on because again, they just enjoying themselves. They on vacation. You see y'all see the pictures. They just kind of sitting back and just saying, "Hey, well, we can just enjoy what we doing, and we on a cool vacation, and we don't see nothing from here." But then once you step out of that resort, it's a whole different ball game. Puchetti said she had booked her trip with the vacation package agency and so far has received only an email notice from the organization. She said the group sent a link to a portal with flight options. The first one showing Friday but cannot book through the platform. Puchetti was able to extend her stay at her current hotel and said she's standing by, sheltering in place until she's able to find the next flight out. The hotel's really empty, she said. I think a lot of people that were supposed to be here were in those flights that either turned around and went back or were diverted to other cities, she said. Puchetti said the hotel is operating as business as usual, but scaled back its operations yesterday, with 2 out of 14 restaurants open for service. "I just feel bad for the people that live and work here," she said. "There's a woman that has been helping us all week long. Um, she got a 5-year-old boy. He was at a Sunday school yesterday, and you could just tell she was so worried about him," said Puchetti. She added, they don't want that whole cartel stigma associated with this area because it's never happened here before." Puchetti did a lot of research prior to her trip, she said, determining Puerto Vallarta to be generally safe in the Punta Mita region known for being safe. Man, this whole situation, like I said, is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But I get it, and that's why you got to be careful. It's one of them things you have to be careful with who you getting into it with. But yeah, nah, man, this whole situation just been crazy. There's so much going on. But again, man, you got to just stay safe out here. People don't understand, like, when you mess with certain people, there's repercussions that come with that. You can't just be out here, murdering anybody. You just can't. It's one of those things where you have to know, hey, this person is connected with so and so. And a lot of times people just do things without doing the research on who they messing with. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, man. I mean, well, she says, I mean, you could say it's dangerous going downtown to parts of Chicago or New York City or whatever, said Puchetti. "I don't have any regrets about coming here," she added. It's unfortunate that it happened the way it did, Crisis response group Great Bull Rescue, based in Florida, has launched Operation Condor Reach to help Americans trapped in Mexico evacuate. To even hear that, man, is crazy. You gotta, at this point, people gotta escape out. The veteran-led nonprofit founder Brian Stern, a multi-tour combat veteran, told Fox News Digital the operation in Mexico is war zone level and nuanced, with team members deployed on Monday. Because the cartels are a business as much as they are an army, the violence is entirely in their control. The Mexican army is not going to be able to really defeat the cartels, said Stern. Damn. They've been around for many, many, many years. Man, it's sad out here, man. It's sad out here. Like I said, man, everybody please stay safe. Hold your head, man. It's one of them situations. It's one of them situations where you got to just keep your family safe, man. You got to keep your family safe and try your best to do what you have to do to get up out of there. Again, I send my condolences to everybody. It's one of them sad situations to see, man. It's one of them sad situations to see. I hope that everybody can just stay safe. Like I said, and you don't never want to see, when you hear stuff like that. You don't never want to see murders and hear about the shit like that, man. Um, you don't never want to hear or see that, man. So I'm hoping that everything could go back to normal, but it's not looking too up. It's not looking too up.
The weekend news. We're following breaking news out of Mexico, where violence has erupted in Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara after the Mexican army killed the leader of one of the country's most powerful cartels. U.S. citizens are now being ordered to shelter in place. Jalisco New Generation cartel leaders Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, was killed after an operation to capture him earlier today. Officials say he died while being flown to Mexico City. Since then, many cars and buildings have been set on fire, which is a tactic used by the cartel to block military operations. Violence also sending people running for safety in the Guadalajara airport. The U.S. State Department is warning U.S. citizens in Jalisco, which includes Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, Tamaulipas, Michoacan, Guerrero, and Nuevo Leon, to shelter in place. Here at home, there's growing concern flights to and from LAX will be impacted by the violence in Mexico. Fox 7's Laura Diaz just arrived at the airport. And Laura, what are you noticing there at LAX?
Well, Susan, as you just mentioned, any knowledge today, I spoke to an Orange County woman who was on holiday in Guadalajara, and she said that she was staying in an American hotel, but then after everything erupted, they made the decision to leave that American hotel, and I talked to them from an undisclosed location.
I was way more on edge, way more scared. I would say on edge, right? Like hyper vigilant, I guess. I'm not scared anymore. I'm a little bit not looking forward to the next 24 hours because we don't have AC. We have we only have so much water. We only have a sandwich to get by. It's not the vacation I was hoping for, but I'm not scared to say right now. If we were to fly out tomorrow, I'd be scared.
Yeah, man. I'm glad she's in decent spirits, man. But it's one of those things, bro. So like I said, if you're out there, please stay safe. Stay safe. Hold your head. I know, like she said, it's hard to get food. It's hard to get different things because everything's has gotten shut down. So try your best just to hold your head, man. As always, I appreciate the love and support. I appreciate y'all watching. I definitely keep you guys updated. As always, man. Catch you in the next one.